celebrating 25 years of CNBC-TV18.
Stocks see two-way swing on the mixed global and domestic cues, even though RBI's bank liquidity boost is seen as a welcome step. Consumer durables and utilities eke out gains, while IT and realty drag. RBI defers a rate cut, keeping a prudent eye on the global developments and the growth inflation dynamic, even as it marks up its inflation expectation for FY25 to 4.8% from 4.5% earlier. Economists bet on a rate cut in Feb. RBI cuts the cash reserve ratio for banks by 50 basis points, boosting the liquidity in the banking system by rupees 1.16 lakh crore. Bankers see deposit rates peaking out following this, but bank margins will improve by only 3 to 5 basis points. RBI revises its GDP growth outlook for FY25 to 6.6% from earlier 7.2%, following the sharp dip in the second quarter, even as it remains hopeful of a correction in H2 on the back of revival in cement, steel and power sector. RBI raises the cap on collateral-free agricultural loans to rupees 2 lakh from rupees 1 lakh to account for the increase in prices on agri inputs. The move is aimed at easing bank credit access to needy farmers. Hello, good afternoon. You've tuned into CNBC TV18. You're watching Business Lunch, and I'm Vinny Motiwala. We're celebrating 25 years today, but what was important also was the RBI monetary policy meet that came in today, and we saw a CRR cut of 50 basis points. Let's look at what the market did on that front, and what we're seeing in Nifty. Flip-flopping between the red and the green is what the Nifty was doing through the day as well. Right now, let's see where it's holding on to. Some bit of that very muted line and performance that we're seeing. 24,700 is what the Nifty is holding on to. Quite flat in trade right now, that's what we're seeing. Nifty Bank, that's holding on to gains of 0.03%. And if you look at the chart also today, at one point of time, Nifty Bank was trading in the red. Then it saw a recovery coming in. And Nifty Bank, as of now, is just flip-flopping almost near the day's highest point. Keep an eye out on that one. 0.01% uptick is what we're seeing coming in for the Nifty Bank. 53,600 is what the Nifty Bank is holding on to. Nifty Mid and Small Cap, that's seeing a better performance than the benchmark indices today. So broader markets are holding on to decent gains. Nifty Small Cap holding on to gains of almost 1%, and Nifty Mid Cap holding on to gains of 0.5%. So that broader market outperformance seems like that's continuing. Sectors which are dragging and not doing well today, we have Nifty Auto, that is among actually the top sectoral gainers. PSU Banks is the top sectoral gainer, while the drag is coming in from the realty and IT side. So keep an eye out on these sectors as well and where they are headed. But Nifty overall as a market today, not much of a move that we're seeing. We've seen it recover from the day's lowest point. As of now, just holding on to those levels since the last half an hour. But let's talk about a stock that is specifically in focus today. We'll talk about Strides Pharma. Why are we talking about Strides Pharma today is because today is a record date of the spin-off of its OneSource business, which is the CDMO business of the company. So today we're seeing Strides Pharma. So the rate will automatically get corrected when you see tomorrow, because today it opened up, the rate when you look at it at the opening rate, because this is a spin-off business. So the stock is trading at 682x of that CDMO business side. So yesterday the stock was at 1,400 approximately, the price that we were looking at. 1,400 is the level that was there. So today it's because the X price is showing 54% decline, but it's not a decline. We're seeing a 5% uptick from the morning price for Strides Pharma X the CDMO business. And the CDMO business as the OneSource side will be expected to actually get listed in Jan and Feb. So keep an eye out on that one. OneSource overall the stake was worth around 638 rupees per share. So you have to exclude that part. And today when you look at it, the business would be valued around 850 rupees per share. This is according to the analyst that the highlight is coming in. In in Q2 also the company had highlighted a lot of positive stuff in terms of the CDMO business. Let's not forget that Biosecure Act benefit that comes in from the CDMO side of the business, that will come into OneSource as well. Second half of the year is expected to see a pickup coming in, so we're expecting better performance there. And the 3 to 4 year outlook that the company had given for this OneSource business was around 350 to 400 million in terms of revenue with a 40% EBITDA. So keep an eye out on Strides Pharma. Tomorrow, on Monday, when we open up again, we'll see those adjusted rates coming in for Strides Pharma. But yes, that's on Strides. Keep an eye out on this one. As of now, when you look at the BSE and NSE rate, the adjusted rate, it's a 5% uptick that is going to be coming in on that front. But yes, on that note, I think we're going to take a very short break. And after the break, we'll come back and talk about the latest action that is going to be happening in terms of the winter session of the Parliament. So stay tuned for that update. Welcome back. You're watching Business Lunch on CNBC-TV18, and thanks for staying tuned in. Today we're celebrating 25 years, but a stock that is buzzing in trade today. Let's talk about that. We have Samvardhana Motherson that is buzzing in trade today. It saw a sharp jump up and then it saw a decline and again making a recovery, holding on to gains of 1.5% right now. Now, what is the reason? Why is it buzzing? Because there's some new acquisition that has come in, and Sudarshan is here to tell us why is it buzzing? What does this new acquisition mean for the company? Sudarshan, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Vinay. So Samvardhana Motherson yesterday in the late night announced that it would hold board meeting today, and we were expecting of certain announcements. Now that announcement has come. Samvardhana Motherson is going to acquire a Japanese company named Etsumitake. Now it's an all-cash deal. The deal value is $57 million, that is around rupees 483 crore. And post the acquisition, the final shareholding, Motherson would hold 95% in Etsumitake, and remaining 5% will be held by Honda Motors. Now, if you go through the deal steps, in the first step, Etsumitake has created a special purpose company which will take the holding to 48%. 48% is the threshold limit. Now, of that 48%, that special purpose company has already acquired 31.7%. Now it has to acquire remaining 16.25%. Then its holding will be 48%. And 48% holding is a must for the deal to go through. In the second step, Samvardhana Motherson will procure shares from that SPC, and that share acquisition is expected to be completed by this Q4 of FY25. Now, in the third step, Honda Motors will launch share buyback, and in the last step, acquisition of shares of other company. Etsumitake has certain subsidiaries, and shares of those subsidiaries will be acquired by Samvardhana Motherson. And finally, this Samvardhana Motherson will have 95%, Honda Motors 5%, and final deal is expected to be completed by Q1 of FY26. Now, what does Etsumitake do? It's a high machine production company, and it produces like gear shifters, chassis and transmission parts for four-wheelers and two-wheelers. In FY24, turnover of Etsumitake was $412 million, which was a jump of almost 12% year-on-year, and margin was 7.5%. That was up 340 bips year-on-year. So all in all, there was an expectation of a higher amount of acquisition, but nevertheless, acquisition has come, and Samvardhana Motherson is going to acquire a Japanese company for $57 million.
Okay, Sudarshan, thank you so much for that update coming in on Samvardhana Motherson, keeping an eye out on that stock, holding on to gains of around 1.5%. But that's all the time we have on this edition of Business Lunch on CNBC TV 18. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't go anywhere. Your Mid Cap Radar up next.